Well, y'all, we made it to number 7, and here we go. Yes, yes.
With lifting ego, tripping, and body snatching.
We made it, man, all the way to number 7. And y'all know what that means? Y'all know what that means, right? We're going to be pulling out some of our good stuff, like a old iron on from 1977. Because this is episode number 7. Can I get a balloon or two for that? No.
No balloons for you, sir.
Oh, yeah,
What
man.
happened to the balloons, man?
But you know what? I think I can go over here and then click over here, but it's not the same as doing it like just throwing up the peace sign and getting the balloons, man, because that makes it cool because you don't even know that it's about to pop and it pops. But you know what? I wanted to take a moment, man, just to say before we get really rolling on this. Sometimes we record our episodes in advance and we um, we miss out on some important things that have happened over that time. One of them is that we lost Sly, right? And uh, man,
Rest in peace.
yeah, rest in peace, Mr. Sly Stone, because you were not just an innovator, you were a motivator, and you will truly be missed, man. But through your music, you'll be here forever, brother. And we lost some other folks too, man. Just yesterday, we lost brother from the Whispers, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
Scotty,
yeah, man. So we got to celebrate them while they're here as much
man.
as we can. I mean, I went to school with Nick, the other guy who was in the Whispers, his daughter and stuff, man. I don't know if you remember her, but and her name is failing me right now, but she was good people, man. Didn't really, wasn't trying to say, oh, my dad is this or my dad is that. She was good people, man. And I hope everybody's doing strong and still doing what they needed to do. I know the brother, he made it to the ripe old age of 81. And man, 81 don't seem too far away right about now. So we gonna be doing what we do so that even when we move on, y'all can come back and check our archives out and see how
Mm-hmm.
what we were doing and how we were celebrating while we can and while we should be doing what we need to do. And that's bringing this funk to you, funking around with PTFI and David Chaos. Grab on to something tight because this is going to be that ride that we've been talking about for a long time. And it has finally arrived. It has touched down. And we're going to put a little twist on it. We talked in advance and what we want to do because there's a whole bunch of videos out there talking about Parliament Funkadelic, right? But the twist that we want to put on it is when did you discover that Parliament was Funkadelic?
Right.
And I know it's a
When
whole
did
bunch,
you put two and two together?
man, because I know it's a whole bunch of OG cats that they knew way before I knew, man. Man, I didn't know until, hold on, let me let me grab some of my props I got for us. I didn't know until this monstrosity popped up, and it was like, man, I don't know some of those songs. I mean, I know Dr. Funkenstein and do that stuff and tear the roof off, but man, I didn't know nothing about the Undisco Kid.
I gotta take off my sunglasses so I can't see what I'm doing.
There you go. Hey, there's David Chaos. Hey man,
No, no,
recap
no,
it.
that ain't David Chaos. This
Oh,
is
who is
David
that?
Chaos.
Oh, I thought that was Rick Habit who had
Oh, this is
took over.
this is this is chaotic dread here today.
Oh, there you
It's
go,
still David Chaos though.
man. Hey, hey, I'll toast to that boogie anytime, brother. So,
Here's a toast to the boogie.
man, just on the side note, uh, your brother PTFI done had a cough that's just been kicking him in the, you know what, man. So I'm gonna be sipping and I'm trying my
Oh
best
man.
not to cough on the microphone because that's just rude, man.
Hey, just hit the audio mute. You got a cough.
Man, I might end up ending the session. Come on, don't have me be pressing a whole bunch of buttons while we trying to record
Nah, right
something.
there it will say audio and video. Just click on audio, the microphone.
Okay,
It'll mute you
click
out.
on the.
And see, you muted, you muted, you muted, muted funk.
Okay, and I'm
Now
back.
he's back in action.
Okay, look at that, man. Hey, man, you done come a long way with this technology, man. I'm gonna give you some props on that, brother, because I remember when we on episode 1, it
Oh,
was
I
all.
know the mute button from my other Zoom meetings.
Oh, I understand, man, but I
They make
wasn't
you
gonna
mute.
turn into.
Everybody mute while somebody else is talking. No,
Mm.
we're gonna get into this one later too.
Ooh, that looked like some whoa. That looks like some original artwork.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know how I did this?
Oh man.
Remember those junior high school windows
Oh,
on the old buildings with the ruffles like,
you go you apprehended one?
and you know what? No, the teacher actually did. I think as they were fixing putting a new building there, and they were tearing down the old one where the music room was,
Yeah.
and them old windows.
Yeah.
And the art teacher, she collected them, and she had us paint something on the glass like that. She says that was part one of the projects. And she says, "All right, class, I want you, Mrs. Marshall, the art teacher."
Hey,
And
Mrs.
what?
Marshall.
And she was like, "All right, class, I'm gonna hand you, I'm gonna hand you some windows from the old school, from the old building over there, and you're
Ah.
gonna pick something, you're gonna paint on it, and I'm gonna show you guys something, So
Ah, from the
did
old
something.
building, cause I think we were the first class to graduate from the new building, and then you probably came up.
I remember the music class was in the old is
Really?
in the last, yeah, the music room and the metal shop, wood
Oh,
shop,
oh yeah.
they was
Hey,
all in
hey,
that
hey,
same
hey,
building.
hey, hey. Do you remember that dude that used to say, "Take armchair now, sit down"?
Mr. Daniels. Yeah, his famous thing was, "Don't take the blower.
Wait a minute.
Don't take the blower."
That dude was craft work already. He was We Are the
Oh
Robots
man.
before that even had bounced out,
Yeah.
man. I didn't
he
understand
was.
that cat. I was like, "Ooh,
He was.
what was he?" Oh, hey, all
He
right,
was.
man.
I
All
know.
right.
We digress.
There we
We
go.
digress. We want to know, when did you figure out Parliament and Funkadelic were the same thing? And
All
and
right.
again, like PTFI said, we know some of you old heads. We know y'all old heads knew because y'all were old enough and smart enough to look on the label and it said a Parlia Funkadelic meant thang.
Fine.
So y'all
Uh,
already knew.
yeah,
We didn't. We youngsters.
before us teenagers on trying to get on the mothership, it was boom. It was like, wow,
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
that is this and that is that. We ain't even
It was.
talking about the spinoffs and don't worry, we'll do a whole Boosie one by itself too because man, it's just too much history. But just to know that he was juggling these two cats, excuse me, these two bands at the same time on two separate labels, and man,
And then we
they
get the history later.
and then we get all of the history later. So we had to go back in time, not like the forefathers before us who already knew all. Man, y'all youngsters, man, we've been
Yeah, my
around.
mother knew. She was like, "Oh, you mean the parliaments?
See, with an
I
S,
want to testify."
yeah,
I
and
said, "No, mom."
that
I
was a
said, "No,
radio
mom."
hit. Yeah,
I was like, "No, mom, parliaments." I put a downstroke, Dr. Funkenstein.
and she,
And she
yeah,
said, "No, I want to testify." The version on that album, that was a new version. No, the
see,
old one. I was like, "Okay, all
see,
right."
And see, and then let's keep it rolling right there for a minute. I love that they would borrow from some of the old stuff and put it into the newer, at that time, funk stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you would hear a bass line from a jam that, man, became super popular and do that stuff, right? You would hear
you
all of
can't
these.
mess with you can't measure
Oh man, you sure
off the
can't.
Cosmic Slob album.
Right. And that right there, I was like, whoa, it's almost
But dig
sampling before sampling. So,
dig
I
those
might as well
old
sample
45s.
myself. Huh?
Dig those old 45s, like what you've been growing.
Hmm.
Um, what did that turn into? See, we coming off the head, y'all. We ain't
Yeah,
looking at
oh,
books right
no, no,
now.
we're not,
We ain't looking at. I
no,
mean, we know
no,
them, but
no, no.
it's difficult to call it from memory bank as
We,
opposed to having it written down or or having your reference right there or having studied
nah,
for your show.
nah,
We
this is,
coming off the head right
we
now.
coming off the
So
dome on this one to make it feel that much more organic. So, once again, welcome to episode 7, where, back in
episode
the
7.
day, uh, what did it say, Tone, on this thing? I'm
Take
gonna
the funk to heaven in 77.
Man,
And
that
that
was
now
a.
that was a trip. Now, how many of y'all actually used the iron on when you got out the album cover? I did. I
I did too.
regretted it.
I regretted it too. You see how pale mine looking right now. So
Yeah,
man, and I don't know if this was the original one from back then, because I acquired a couple of those. Don't ask me how, but I got a hold of a couple of them. And because with the T-shirt, man, to be able to put it on your T-shirt and represent your band, and it's like, so
yeah,
what's happening? And they talking about 77. Whoa,
yep.
taking funk to heaven is in 77. Okay, let's go. Hey,
See,
so
I'm gonna have to dig mine out, man.
all right, well, you start digging, cause and I want to correct something. When I said screw your wig on tight, I want y'all to know my brother over there ain't faking the funk. That is 100% dread. He been doing that
Yeah,
for
that's
I
my
don't
real
know how
hair.
long. That he is not faking the funk. So
1989.
there you go. There you go. So hey man, while you looking for something, I want to play a little promo. Check it out. And there's a lot of history from this one right here. It involves a record store at the MacArthur and Broadway Mall in Oakland.
MB Mall.
Yeah, what it is? What it is? Yeah, we gonna party tonight, y'all.
Yes, we are.
I got the bomb. The peace bomb. What's happening, y'all? Y'all ready to turn the fuck out? Hey, go park machine.
Let me break it down.
That's Boogie on bass
You
too.
know it.
Yeah, Dr. Funkenstein here. They say the bigger the headache, the bigger the pill, baby. Call me the big pill.
The Newberg sessions.
You know they gonna
My hip bone connected to my thigh bone. Thigh bone connected to my leg bone.
Yeah.
Leg bone connected to my ankle bone. I'm
Hey
hung up on
man,
my
what did
bone.
Ron have on back there, man? I don't know if they'll show it again, but it was,
come on, Bigfoot.
yeah, man.
He got some big old hat on or something.
Yeah, it's like two different takes, because they show him with a hat, then they show him
When I
like with some
start
type of
churning and
rhino
burning and
thing on his
turning,
head.
I make your atoms move so fast, expanding your molecules, causing a friction fire, burning you on your neutron, causing you to scream, hit me in the proton, baby.
Man, I wonder where those props are now.
Man,
Well,
who you
we
telling,
knew the
man?
fate. We heard of the fate of the mothership, but
Yeah. Didn't
I
that end
mean
up?
that
Yeah.
P Funk hand back there,
Yeah.
the eye, the Eye of Horus, and the Pyramid. Um, what else? And the Alley Cruiser.
Yeah, yeah, that gets stripped down.
Mm-hmm. Wonder what happened to all that. Look at Fred. He happy. Him and Maceo.
Man, they like, man, we free to funk the way we want to funk. Look
Jeanette
at young
Washington.
Mike back there.
Jeanette Washington and
Jeanette, right?
Debbie Wright.
Oh, Debbie. Okay.
Yeah, that was Debbie Wright and Jeanette Washington.
Ah,
Glenn.
that Rickenbacker bass.
Brady, Fuzzy, and Ray.
Bernie.
The
Yeah.
Maestro. Woo Master.
Ooh, who was that?
Shady Grady.
Ray.
Stingray.
Are they stripping it? There they
Glenn
go.
stripping it. Yeah, he's stripping down the Alley Cruiser.
You call it the Alley Cruiser. Okay.
I thought that's what it was from the Tales of Kid Funkadelic album, but I guess not. I guess it was the Pimp Mobile.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
I
see,
don't know.
there you go.
I
You
see
got
Jerome with the hat, yeah.
right.
Now, was this the one they showed in the record store?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till it's almost over, because you know how the algorithm is. I want to talk about that whole experience of when I first saw this.
Damn, rest in peace, Glenn Goins and Gary Shiver.
Yes. Check out Gary. Boogie. Look, man, those three right there,
In
man.
the bay, yep.
Mm.
The Black Leprechaun.
You see what Bigfoot had on? Look.
I don't know what he was doing.
Yes.
Yeah, this was P Funk at their peak.
Pure funk, baby. Pure funk.
I mean, listen to how good they sound. This rehearsal too.
Yes.
They sounded good. They smiling, happy.
On a mission, man.
Man, you can hear, you can feel it. You feel it in the music. You can feel it, man.
But
That Rick,
yeah, Rick's still with us, isn't he?
yeah, Rick, yeah. Oh
Okay.
man, Rick is on Facebook, man.
Okay. All right. So that's where it gets cut off. So yeah,
Okay.
man, I just wanted to hype it up with that.
Now was
That
that the what was that? The something birds.
the Newberg sessions.
That's a Newberg.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So let me just jump in, and man, you jump on, and because we gonna do it like that. So I originally saw this at the MB Mall in Oakland, California, at the record store that's there. And if someone can comment and tell me what was the name of that music store, I would really appreciate it, because I can't find it online nowhere. But it was a music store right in the middle. You could walk down one way and down another side, and it was like, if you want to cut through, you can go through the music store. So one day I was cutting through the music door, man, and remember, this is in the 70s. They had some type of video device with a little screen, and it was a tape, and it had that what we just shared. It had that, not the whole show, but just that, and it was talking about get ready for the mothership because it's coming. And you would have to ask the person that worked there to hit play for you so you can see it. Man, he hit play for that, and I lost my mind. They played. I asked him, "Can you play it again?" And I said, "Can you play it one more time?" So I looked at it like three times just to make sure I was witnessing what I thought I was seeing, man.
Especially at a young age.
Man, I was what,
You was
14?
toe. You got toe up.
I was like, wait a minute. They landed a spaceship at a concert? Are you kidding me? Are you what? I said, no, this is not humanly possible. So I went back home, got my portable cassette deck.
Myself some energy.
Wait a minute. I went up to the music store again, asked the man to start playing it because I guess he just hit the button and would walk away. So he hit the button and I put my little cassette deck and hit record. And so, yes, yes, Toad, yes.
He bootlegged it.
I bootlegged the bootleg of the bootleg rehearsals, man, way back then.
Bootleg.
But man,
Man,
I was so happy, dude, because I was like, this is gonna be one hell of a concert. So with that being said, man, I still haven't found out at the time that it was Parliament Funkadelic because I don't know if you caught it at the very beginning. It just said Parliament, Dr. Funkenstein, and do that stuff. That's so they really wasn't pushing it as the P Funk thing yet. Even though wait a minute, some folks knew, but I'm still not knowing. And man, until this this album came out and had all those extra cuts that I saw at that concert that I didn't know nothing about. Like mm, God dang, get off your and jam.
oh, come
One,
on, man. Shit, goddamn.
hey man, I'm trying to keep it clean.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I am.
yeah.
Get off your jam.
And if you ain't gonna get it on,
Take your dead
right, and bad. The girl is
girl is bad.
But you know what?
Trash.
But you know one thing that I don't remember hearing on any Funkadelic albums was it was a part where when they was jamming up on stage where George would say, I want you to loan me your funky mind. We're gonna do it this time, right?" And he would go,
Oh yeah.
ah, right?
Yeah.
And
That changed the game, dude. That was like,
man, but let me tell you what was happening because when he would do that, fire would come up out the stage, Tone.
hmm. See, I missed that show, man.
Tone.
Seven,
That's why
is
we
this a
sharing.
77? This is
This
77 I mean Funk
th-
Festival. This is 77 Earth Tour.
this is the Earth Tour, Oakland,
Ah man.
California, January. I want to say 21st. I know everybody gonna.
21st. It was 2 nights, wasn't it?
One night was in L.A. on the 19th, I think,
Yeah.
and then they did Oakland.
And
And
you know we had an
man,
earthquake around that time too.
man, yo, they probably caused it because that place when he did that,
Yeah.
and that's when he just did one. So he did like three and maybe four, but by the time he got to the fifth one, everybody in the place was going
Yep.
ah
Yeah.
man, and then just flames came up all the way across because they at first they were just hitting like little cylinders one at a time, boom 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 boom,
Right,
and on that
right.
last one, man,
Everything.
hey, Mothership ain't even
Even the horns joined in on that one.
wait, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Man, the mothership hadn't even landed yet, right? So the wheels
Y'all,
was
y'all didn't
spinning.
even know. Y'all thought that was something. Y'all didn't even know what you're about
Hey,
to get hit with.
we could have packed it up and bounced in, man. You know, but long story short, my bus wasn't at outside yet because that's another story on how I got to the concert. You
Well,
know
at
it
least you
already.
got there.
You wait a minute, but you know how I got there though, right?
Yeah, you
57.
got the 57. But at least you could go. I'm sitting at home.
Man, you was too young, man. You was still too
I
young
didn't think
for it,
so, but
man.
my mother thought so.
I
Ah,
know,
you too young.
man.
You're not going to the Oakland Coliseum. That's over there by 6 9 Ville.
Yes,
You're
it
not,
is. Yes, it
not by
was.
yourself.
but man,
Who going
everybody,
with you?
man, see, you should have told her, hey man, I know this ninth grader. I could go with you.
I didn't know. Oh man.
Man, hey man. But see, and what's the trip back then, dude? It was no funking going on outside other than music funk. Nobody was robbing and stealing. It was like a united front for folks that not act a fool. It was that was the smoothest bus ride to get there, and it was the smoothest bus ride to get back, dude. I mean, it was like stuff that you would dream about that's not even conceivable in this day and age that we in right now. That how man, number one, bus takes you there to the concert, drops you off. Wait a minute, and this is AC transit. This is no, ain't no
Yeah.
private bus. And then when the concert was over, loading up. It was
It's
like three or
over.
four of them loading up. I'm like, wow,
Man. And everybody so high on whatever,
man.
natural high
Right,
or
right,
the
yeah,
euphoria from the concert or
right,
whatever they was doing.
yeah. See, and I wasn't
They wasn't
puffing.
nobody trying to do nothing bad.
Yeah, see, I wasn't
Right.
puffing yet, right, or getting ready to start puffing, right. But at the same time, man,
Oh
the
man.
the euphoric feeling that you got from just the power of the music and the feeling of the oneness all around you, man.
Hmm.
Nobody tripping, nobody, man, you stepped on my shoe, man. All that came later. All the madness came later. But for that night, that was just some unbelievable stuff, man. And I hear a lot of people say, "Oh man, that's the best funk band in the land," and no, man, they were one of the best bands. Period. Period. I mean, some people might, you know, but man, I'll put any one of those guitars back in the day against anybody. We went over some of our favorite groups, right? But man,
Funk is n- funk is funk is sped up blues played by frustrated jazz musicians.
now where did you coin that from, man?
I got part of that from George in one of them documentaries
Oh, okay,
where he
okay.
said that he was talking about that. I think Maceo was saying that something like that too.
Oh man.
But yeah.
Yeah, man. So yes, it wasn't until then until I found out because I saw those, and heard those songs because the album didn't come out too much later than that show, man. That back then, that's when you could pump out at least two albums in a year. In their case, I don't know how many they were doing in a year, man, but it was a
Well, I
lot.
think it was two because Parliament would have one and then Funkadelic would have one.
Right,
And
right,
then
absolutely.
and then next thing you know, Parliament have another one. And let's get into that. The difference. Like what,
Yeah. Go ahead, man. So
like
that was my teaser into it. I'll get something else lined up for the next go round, but you can go ahead and funk and roll with a little bit, man.
um wish I would have pulled it down so I could show it, but I got it. It's right up there. So where over here
Hmm.
behind the flag is my 45, my Key Funk 45. Um and see this is again we talking about Funkadelic and Parliament, like when you found out the difference,
Hmm.
or that they were the same people.
Insane,
And I
man.
know all of y'all that know me and heard this story
That's all right.
50 million times. You're gonna hear it 50 million and one
One. There you go.
times.
So bring it.
Oh man, kindergarten, 1970. Some no, what American Eats is Young was out. I think it was either that or American, but regardless, I was probably in the first kindergarten or first grade. I'm not sure, man. I'm too little to remember that. I just know my mother was going to the House of Music over there on Bancroft in East Oakland. Uh, and she asked me if I wanted to go. and I wanted to go because of the black light posters. So yeah, I went with her, and they had a DJ in the back that would play the music. I believe they had a radio station too, but I know that it was a DJ back there playing music all the time. And when we were in there, they was playing I Want to Know If It's Good to You by Funkadelic. Now I didn't know, I wasn't even paying attention to the lyrics or nothing. Uh, but what got me was he played side two of the 45 where it just starts with the
It
with with,
jumps right in.
with Burn, yeah, it jumps right into Bernie and Eddie
Hmm.
going off, and Billy on the bass, and it was just like, and just it was just like super psychedelic sounding, and I'm over there tripping on the black lights, the black love posters,
That's
you know,
right. I remember this story now too.
and looking, looking at people with the black light show all the lint on you, and everybody got all
Hmm.
them little white whatever spots on them and stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm tripping, right? And this music just fit the whole thing. And so when my mom's gathered all the albums she wanted, she got to the counter, she asked me, "Do you want anything?" I just remember it specifically. He said, "Do you want anything?" I looked up at her. I said, "I want what's playing now." she,
Ah,
she did a brother.
ah.
Ugh. she said. She said. She said, "You are that?" I said,
She did a
I said,
brother.
"Yeah." And she looked at the person behind the counter. And said, "Well, I guess he wants that. Give him that one." And
Oh
so
man.
he went and got 45. Man, I got home. I just played that side. I didn't bother playing the A side. I just played, to relive that moment, minus the black lights at home. Just to play, I just played part two of "I Want to Know If It's Good to You" on the 45. I'd play it out, man. I was driving them crazy playing that.
Man, because it was
But
funky.
yeah, it was just, I don't know, man. I was just like, at that age, out of all the music that I was listening to, from listening, the older people playing, like they would play the Rare Earth, get ready, the Rare Earth version of Get Ready, 21
Mm.
minutes long. So between that, Howlin' Wolf or whatever my mother was playing, and then my stepbrother was playing. Here's the other kicker. He was playing a lot of Funkadelic too. And I didn't know that that's what it was.
Ah,
But
see. Uh-huh.
he was playing Hendrix. He was playing Funkadelic and somebody else. My mother had Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder and all that covered, right? So, but out of the stuff my stepbrother that I heard him playing, the stuff that I liked happened to be the Funkadelic songs.
Mm.
But like I said, I had no idea who it was because he in his room, we couldn't go in his room, right? So, but I would hear it coming out of his room, and I'd be like, "Oh, that one's cool. I like that one. I like that one." And once I got older and I started hearing them songs, some of them was on the radio, or I'd hear it somewhere at somebody else's house or something. And I'm like, I remember that when I was, and I still didn't find out it was Funkadelic, but I would hear it, right?
So you still not knowing, but you
I'm
definitely
not knowing.
vibing
I,
on it.
I remember hearing Chocolate City, not knowing.
Mm.
I think I knew that was Parliament because I seen the poster with everything in chocolate and it
It
would melt.
melting. Yeah, see, and I only
That
rem
told me up.
yeah, see, I only remember seeing that cover, and I don't know if it scared me or or something, but I don't see. It's such a blur. I don't remember hearing Chocolate City on the radio. Do you?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And they would play it, and everybody would be like, they was fired up on it because of what he was talking about. He was talking
Oh
about
man,
black
yeah.
man,
Right,
black man in the White House,
right, right.
and everybody, all of the black uh, artists or entertainers at the time. he was naming them and giving them titles in the white, like Aretha Franklin, the first lady.
Lady.
Stevie Wonder, Minister of Fine Arts. Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Pryor was, I forget what was he? Every,
A minister of fine arts. I think. I see. I don't want
it
to
was.
mess it
Oh,
up. So
I
I
thought
don't.
that was Stevie Wonder,
Oh,
but
okay, okay. Might see. You know how I
and see
be
that's what I'm
liking
saying.
that
See
Richard.
y'all like
Don't
y'all
tear
can
me
pull
up.
out y'all
Yeah,
textbooks
yeah, don't
if
tear
you
us up.
want, or put the record on right now to figure it out. But see,
Uh,
we ain't going through that. We coming off the head.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
uh, and Muhammad Ali,
That's right.
and
Right.
he had all of them
Which was
people
all
in
our heroes, right? At the time,
exactly,
right? In the White
exactly. We
House,
all
right?
looked up to them, and to hear that in, in White House, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I remember that. And then, but what I didn't know was they called Washington D.C. Chocolate City.
Ah,
And then I
okay.
later found out when I found out that D.C. was Chocolate City and why,
Right, right. See, now then
and
let's keep it
because
in
it was a
perspective.
city, it
Keep it
it
in
was a city.
perspective. I'm sorry, go ahead. I just want to say, because remember, you only like what, 9 or 10 around this time, right? This
I'm
ain't
like, when did Chocolate City come out? 74.
74.
So
Yeah.
I was like in the
Yeah, so man,
third,
so
getting ready to go to fourth grade.
youngsters. I
Yeah,
mean, youngsters, dude. That's what I'm
right.
saying. Getting hip to the game of what's actually
Watching with the
happening at the
older
time.
people.
Watching the
Yep.
OGs at the time, where the
Yep.
OGs putting it in place for us, right?
And by that time, Chocolate City, see, that was like Black Panther. Like that
Mm,
was they had kind of I believe that was like after Huey went through what he went through with this, but I mean it was like factions of had different factions by then. And I just remember they were around like when we would go to school, we would pass by some Black Panther Party members' homes on 60 was on 61st Street in North Oakland, uh, between Colby and Telegraph.
mm-hmm,
And some people lived, it was this house. My grandmother said, don't when you walk down there, you get on this side of the street. Don't walk on that side. You leave those people alone. And it's like, why? They cool. Why we say that? She said, well, you been over there? It was like, no, but when we walk by there, they let us play with their dog. She was like,
like,
don't you walk on that side of the street.
she giving you,
So
she warning
a
you.
little, yeah, little did they know though, it's like they were cool people.
Hmm.
I think it was just, the bad press they was getting, but they was cool people when we walked by there. They cared for the youngins. So
Yep.
anyway, that's when I first heard Chocolate City, like around 70 74. Uh,
But you still haven't
but
put
I
it
didn't pay
together.
attention to
Yeah. Yeah.
other than that picture that said
Right.
Parliament. I didn't, that went through. I would just trip on the song, and then I think I heard "If It Don't Fit, Don't Force It," and then when I heard "If It Don't Fit, Don't Force It" again, it was a woman singing it, uh, Kelly Patterson, but it
Mm.
didn't sound. I said, "Now I know I heard this song before, but it didn't, it didn't sound like this." So that tripped me out. I don't think there was any correlation between the two. It was just
It was
had the same title.
the same title, but it was a total different vibe. I
Yeah,
remember the other one, but
yeah. So I only heard the Parliament version once. Didn't know it was on Chocolate City Hour.
mm,
So see, I wasn't putting none of that together yet. Um, and then getting back to my stepbrother, when I had bought that I want to know if it's good to you.
hmm
He had he had the dollar bill. He had America Uses Young album, and I
hmm
specifically remember that because of the dollar bill and the Statue of Liberty,
Statue of Liberty.
the Statue of Liberty, fighting this, fighting,
Yeah.
eating them kids. And I didn't know I was like, am I scared or am I intrigued or what's this feeling I'm having when I looked at that, right? And I was just like, mm. Um, and I hadn't read that inside story yet, but
Mm,
we get into that later.
mm-hmm.
But so that would trip me out. And I remember Loose Booty because that was on the radio a lot. You always heard Loose Booty on the radio, and A Joyful Process. I remember that because it started off with the prayer.
Mm.
So
Dun, 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 dun. Yep.
yeah, that
Dun, 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 dun,
and
dun,
there
dun,
was
dun.
another song. Oh yeah, the title, America Eats Us Young. Same chorus to Maggot Brain. Now when my stepbrother would play that, he, I remember him playing Maggot Brain, but um, when he would play the America Eats Us Young, the title track, and I heard that the woman sounding like she's, there's some sex going on that record, or I don't know if she was crying or if she was having orgasms, but when I would hear that coming out his room, I always thought he had his girlfriend was in there. So, um, again, I didn't know that that was on that Dollar Bill album. I didn't
Mm.
know that. I mean, not Funky Dollar Bill, but on the America East is Young with the Dollar Bill
Yeah,
cover.
definitely. Yep.
I didn't know. I didn't even know Loose Booty was on that album. I just know I used to hear the song, and I remember seeing that album cover, but not knowing who it was. I didn't see the Funkadelic written on it. So, I think what I'm trying to say is, when I was a youngster, going back listening to all that music that I used to listen to, when I put it together, all the Funkadelic songs that I heard, those were the songs that I liked the most,
Mm.
and didn't know who it was. And then once I started seeing, I think I started putting together when somebody had Standing on the Verge of Getting It On, and they were playing Red Hot Mama,
Mm.
and I heard that that was like a remake version or something. Um, but then I was like, oh, Funkadelic, that's the same. I got a record by them. And then by the time Let's Take It to the Stage came out, my mom's had bought the 45 to Better by the Pound,
Mhm.
had stuff and things on the back.
Mm.
So
Uh-oh.
I used to play that out. I used to wear that out. And I was looking for I don't miss so it's I can talk forever about this, man. I,
All right, so
I
I'm bringing it back.
let,
So when did
yeah,
you
let's bring
put?
it back.
When did you say that's them? Parliament is funkadelic. When was your aha moment?
Man.
Come on, man.
I would have to say that it was when that Parliament Live album
Okay. All right.
and the landing of the Holy Mothership, when they played all them different songs
Mm-hmm.
on there. It was on the live album, but it wasn't a live cut
Yeah, it
for
was.
those that don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like it's one of those songs where they would say something and then the song would answer what was said. Uh, but I was hearing funkadelic songs on the Parliament album, and it was just like where I remember that song from. Oh, that's a funk. That's oh okay. Well, now wait a minute. Uh, you know, and then the medley that comes on after P Funk on side one, Dr. Funkenstein's super groovalistic prosophistication medley. They're saying funkadelic lyrics on some stuff, and then when they get to this Undisco Kid on side B, It's like what? That's a funkadelic song on a Parliament album.
Mm.
What's what's
And the magic begins, right?
yeah,
Because
exactly.
that right there, the merging of the two on two different record labels, uh, allegedly two different bands, but that right there was the secret sauce. I don't know if they, man, probably if it wasn't for that album, I don't think I would have pieced it together right away either. As I
You
got
would
older,
have. You would
what
have.
man, because when it was like I wasn't hip to the stuff. See, at an early age, you was getting a lot of that stuff by you said was that your brother, your stepbrother?
Step brother.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were you were getting doses of it. It was coming to you, you know, at a real early age. See, I didn't get those doses, right? I had to go back and
Right, right.
get it. But you were getting it as you were blooming still, man. You would tell me,
But
man.
I was, but it wasn't like he was saying, "Hey man, listen to this funkadelic album and check this out."
Right,
It
right.
was just I would hear him playing them,
Okay,
and
right.
and whatever he was playing, some of it I was like, "Oh yeah," but but the ones that when I did, like you said, when you start going back,
Yeah,
when I started going back and I started hearing them songs that I used
yeah.
to hear when I was younger, I said, "Damn, that was funkadelic."
Man, that's the
I had the
part
45
that you see.
in the same house where he had the albums he was playing from and didn't even know that it
Right.
was the same.
Dude, what wasn't it like you had discovered something like a secret? At least that's the way it felt to me. Like, man, this is it seems like it was public knowledge, but it really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, how is this even being done? And this was way before sampling and all this other stuff that came along after the fact. But like that record, The Landing of the Holy Mothership, man, it was a couple of other records that was out that was doing it. I can't recall some of the.
One was called Superfly versus the Mac. If you could look that up, you could find that, man.
See
And
what
they
I'm
were
saying?
doing the same thing.
See what
The
I'm
dude
saying?
would say
See,
something and then he'd answer it with a song with part of the song that would answer what he was saying. It was a
see,
trip.
see what I'm saying? And see, I remember something came out much later, like I want to say like in the '80s, Wiki Rap. I don't know if you remember that. It was the same thing. They was
Hmm.
literally just taking the stuff and just putting it and singing it their way. I was like, man,
Right,
okay.
right.
It was just a taste of what was to come, right? So, but one thing, as you and I both know, Mr. George Dr. Funkenstein Clinton was
I gotta
way
show
ahead of
my
his
shit.
time, man. The
Yeah,
fact with
yes, he was.
how some cats were talking about Afrofuturism.
Hmm.
Come on, man. That don't get no more futuristic for in the '70s than what
Well, he. I later found out that he was influenced by Sun Ra,
Sun
man.
Ra. See, and that's yeah. So
And I
yeah,
heard I used to hear or see some the Sun Ra, but a lot of people they didn't they wasn't feeling it or it just went past it just went over their head.
see,
They was like
and check what. Okay, so and, check me if I'm wrong, but Sun Ra, the concept was there, but man,
yeah,
that groove, that George and Funkadelic, Parliament, and Bootsy and Gary, and I mean,
see now you talking where they start see like and
it
I know just when I started going back, that's when I started picking up on the sound
the
that they had. Like,
sound was
because
totally different. Yes.
the first sound that hit me was "I Want to Know If It's Good to You," and that instrumental version.
Mm,
So when I equated funkadelic, it was to that sound, right?
mm-hmm.
And then would find out, okay, Eddie and Billy eventually started writing songs for Motown, and they
Mm,
did "Standing on Shaky Ground" for the Temptations, and it was a certain sound. It was like, okay, that's why I like that song for
mm-hmm.
some reason, but I didn't know that was Billy Bass and Eddie Hazel doing that for the Temptations.
Well, it wasn't it
What I
wasn't the
found
story.
out later, but
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know,
yeah, because did George said, he wanted to get his own empire. He didn't want to be under the Motown thumb of Mr. Gordy, right? I mean, they didn't want to.
but he used to work for Mr. Gordy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So most people, when you work for somebody, you see how they getting down, and like,
Yeah, yeah. See, George is a sponge. He
right.
he
So
was
I
soaking
know,
it
I
all up.
I know he soaked all up, soaked it all up, man.
He was soaking it up, and that whole him writing for Motown's publishing company, Joe Bett,
Mm-hmm.
which I believe Joe Bett was Berry Gordy's first wife's name
Oh, okay.
or something. Something. Nah, it was something like that. All you historians can correct me on that, or we'll put it up on the.
On the remix.
We'll prompt it up there. Yeah, but like I said, I don't have my notes with me right now, so
Nah, man, we freestyling today, man, because this is man, we've been talking about this episode for a long, long time, man.
yeah,
Hey, and so what I want to do right here is since we want to check the tapes and all that good stuff, because we want to make sure it's coming to y'all loud and clear. So we're gonna take a little break right here, and we'll be right back.